Everyone, today's Zoo to You is brought to you by the U.Fund College Investment Plan and MEFA. My name's Ashley and I'm a keeper here at the Tropical Forest, and today we're going to be talking about pygmy hippos for World Hippo Day. So if you give me 1 second, they're about to shift out. Selena, you are good to open. So we have a total of 3 pygmy hippos here. We have a mom, dad, and baby. Mom is Cleopatra and her son is Ptolemy. Ptolemy is 4 months old this month. And then dad's name is Eno. So they are separate because in the wild, pygmy hippos are actually solitary, unlike Nile hippos. So they'll only really be together if it comes to breeding or if it's a mom and calf like what we have here. Now, calves will stop nursing a mom at about 8 months, and then they don't hit maturity until about 5 or 6 years old. So this is Cleo coming out. And so you can see there's food on the ground. In the wild, they would eat semi-aquatic plants as well as roots and fruits. Here in captivity, we feed them a mixture of hay, lettuce, alfalfa. They get a specialized grain that gives them a lot of nutrients that they would find in the wild. They also love fruits and vegetables. So the average lifespan of a pygmy hippo is 25 to 40 years. Cleo is 28 years old. Eno is 9, so he's a little bit younger than she is. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but they are a lot smaller than the Nile hippos. They're about 2.5 feet tall and weigh about 400 to 500 pounds. That's still a big hippo for and if you notice their feet, they actually have wider toe stands, and it helps with weight bearing when they're walking through the jungle floor. They are from West Africa, so rainforest area, and they would actually be spending most of their time on land as opposed to in the water. They will occasionally go in the water, but the land is where they like to spend most of their time. So you can see she's munching away. They would spend about 5 to 6 hours a day eating, and they're actually more semi-nocturnal. So they would actually be eating between mid-afternoon to midnight.
He was asking, can you remind us how old Ptolemy is now?
4 months.
We also had a question as to whether they can swim.
They can swim. They're not the best swimmers, but they can swim. So I can toss some birds in for them. You can see some in the water. It had hippo on it for World Hippo Day. Also feed them browse. That is mulberry.
About how long until Ptolemy is full grown?
So like I said, they reach maturity around 5 or 6 years of age. So we actually just weighed him today. He is still a growing boy. He weighs 76 pounds.
And how much did he weigh when he was born? Is it like the same color?
Yeah. I don't remember how much he weighed when he was born, but he has gotten a lot bigger. So you can see that they do go in the water. He is actually a decent swimmer at his size.
Nicole was asking if they're endangered.
They are. So they are very rare to find in the wild. Actually, one of their biggest predators per se is the logging industry. So habitat loss is one of the biggest reasons. A lot of their area in Liberia is getting taken away by loggers. But they will also occasionally be hunted for bushmeat as well.
Ptolemy or Cleo have any favorite types of enrichment or special activities that you would do with them?
So Cleo loves to eat. Ptolemy has actually gotten pretty good at getting on the scale by himself, so we're pretty proud of that. Just wave a little bit of lettuce in front of him and he'll step right up. They do love training, or at least Cleo does. So we weigh her weekly just like we do him. But Cleo loves her lettuce, she loves browse. And then Ptolemy just loves following Mom around everywhere.
Gina was asking what kind of climate they live in.
So they do live in a tropical climate, so they are found in rainforests of West Africa, mostly Liberia, but they have been found in neighboring countries as well. So very humid, very muddy environment.
Very good. Do you have a favorite thing about working with Ptolemy and Cleo?
My favorite thing I would have to say is, and Ptolemy's kind of picked up on this too, when Cleo wants food, she'll open her mouth up and down, and it's almost like a little beg for food, and it's very cute, and now Ptolemy's picked up on that too. And you can see he's enjoying that browse just as much as Mom is.
Ashley asked, how did Ptolemy get his name?
So we actually did a donor naming. So somebody actually donated money to the zoo to name him. Ptolemy is the name of one of Cleopatra's sons. So I'm assuming that's where the donor got the name from. Oh. So when he first got in the pool, he actually did better at getting in and out of the pool than Mom did.
Marilyn asked about some of the other foods that they like to eat.
So they get, for enrichment, they'll get things like pumpkins. So we'll actually give them pieces of pumpkin to eat. They like sweet potato, apples.
Lauren had a good question. She said, how many babies do hippos usually have? Just one, or 4 of them one at a time?
Nope, just one at a time. And so he'll start to wean from Mom at about 8 months. But he's already, as you can see, eating solid food at 4 months.
So will Ptolemy stay at the zoo with his mom forever, or will he eventually move?
He will probably eventually go to another facility. We are part of a species survival plan breeding program with these guys. So he is pretty genetically valuable and will go to another zoo to start his own family.
Robert asked if the father spends time with little baby Ptolemy.
Nope. So males will come around for breeding. They'll usually spend 2 to 3 days courting Mom, and then it's usually only a 24 to 48 hour estrus for Mom, and then Dad will leave, and Mom will spend time with the baby. Gestation for Pygmy hippos is 190 to 210 days.
Lauren was asking if you know how long they can hold their breath underwater.
They can hold their breath for several minutes. They actually have an ability to close their nostrils so that no water comes in.
Play with mom a lot?
He does get rambunctious and try and bite at mom. Cleo kind of doesn't react to it much.
Yeah, she seems pretty
But
focused on her food.
he will get baby zoomies.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like right after he was born and what the staff had to do and around the camp?
So even before he was born, staff was on 24-hour watch. And then after he was born, staff was still on 24-hour watch. So we had a lot of help from volunteers and staff from throughout the zoo, not just TF staff, to monitor and record, make sure that mom and baby were nursing properly. So it took a lot of care from everyone at the zoo, not just tropical forest staff here.
I think we have a second left, so is there anything else you want to say to wrap up? Hippos, what do you love?
So this is my first time ever working with hippos, and I never thought I would fall in love with them like I did, and now they're one of my favorite animals. So the best way to support hippo conservation, or one of the best ways, come to your local zoo, like Zoo New England, and you know, come see them, come learn about them, and part of what we do here is we actually donate money back to conservation in the wild. So by supporting us, you're supporting their wild counterparts.
Thank you again for telling us about our hippo.
No problem. Thank you guys for joining me on a Monday morning.